Yes, I'm going to be.
Okay, says we're live. Okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah, we're alive.
We're alive.
Now, if you can just let us know that you can see and hear us, that would be really, really great. There we are. How about that? All right. I'm hoping that everybody can hear and see us.
We don't have any snow down here, thank goodness.
No, we're really, really happy that we don't have any snow down here.
In fact, that is a live view out the window there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not actually out our window, but that is a live view.
That's not our window?
That is a live view of Fort Lauderdale Beach, a webcam.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody said they can actually hear us, though, so I'm still a little bit worried.
Okay, thanks, John.
Okay. That makes me happy, yeah.
Sound and video. Thanks, Alice.
All right, here we go.
Just another minute.
Yeah. Lots of snow in New Jersey.
Boy,
Ha ha ha.
everybody having snow. Does look pretty.
Yeah, it is, especially when you view it from down here in
Yeah.
South Florida. Okay.
I have been known to go sledding and skiing in different parts of my life, but
Yeah,
not now.
very cool. Well, it's 2 o'clock, and it's time for episode number 206 of What Does This Button Do? How about that? It's an educational show about smartphones and technology with us Geeks on Tour. Yeah, and we want to remind you to click the bell, get notifications, subscribe to our stuff, and you'll have fun. A hodgepodge today. What do you have?
Well, there's going to be a bunch of unrelated tips and education today, and my first one is using an Apple Watch as a remote control for the iPhone camera. So here is my iPhone camera, and notice I don't even have to unlock it. And I want a photo taken with the rear, not a selfie. So I'm going to set it on its little stand here. And I'm going to ask Jim to set it down on the table in a way that it can see the two of us and our computer screens.
Okay, I can do this maybe without hurting anything. Let's see if that'll work.
Okay. Then you're going to be looking at my Apple Watch.
Okay.
And if I press the button to go to my apps, the app I'm talking about is Camera Remote. And as I said, I did not even have to unlock the phone. And look at that. You can see on my watch what my iPhone's camera is seeing. And then I can tap this button for 3 seconds, which will give us time to look at the camera and smile. And it took a picture. So now give me my phone back.
There you go.
And I can go to my Google Photos and show you the picture it just took. Is that cool or what?
That is way cool.
I just think that's, yeah, you don't need, if you have an Apple phone, an Apple Watch, and an Apple phone. I have...
You have all that stuff, so...
Yeah. Okay, so that's our first tip.
All right. So, where do we go from here? That's always a good thing. All right. I'm Jim, here together with my wife Chris. We are Geeks On Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or your Apple Watch or your Androids? And how do you learn about this technology?
Or cryptocurrency. Well, we are Geeks Who Teach, and we just love technology, and we're learning about it all the time. So we believe that a good way for you to learn it is to regularly watch our show where we give different tips. So bite-sized pieces of learning on a regular basis. And then all of our teaching is collected on our website at geeksontour.com.
All right. So, Chris, where are we now?
We're home. And last time we did this show 2 weeks ago, we were saying that we were looking for a way to get our first vaccine shots. Well, thanks to one of our viewers on that show, Cheryl, she emailed us and gave us a number that we had not had before. I called it, got an appointment right away, and those are photos of the line. We were in line for 3 hours.
Yeah, but it was...
But we got our shot.
We got our shots. It was worth it, okay?
Thank you, Cheryl.
Yes, indeed. All right. We appreciate that. So, hello to our live viewers. We have a bunch of them out there, and we also appreciate our premium members. So we have John and Hugh and Donna and Sheila and Huey and wow,
and
Michael.
Lots of people talking about snow.
Snow. Yeah, we don't have to shovel rain anyway, so that's okay.
And Bill, a.k.a. Olive Cousin, will the selfie stick remote button work like the Apple Watch feature of the selfie stick remote of not being on, or does the Android phone need to stay on? I don't know. Good question. So what he's talking about is I used the Apple Watch to control the iPhone's camera, and the iPhone did not even have to be unlocked. If you put any phone in a selfie stick and you use the selfie stick button, I think it has to be on the camera. I think the camera has to be on. The selfie stick button is just to click the shutter, I think.
Okay. She thinks. A special thank you to our premium members. You make our work possible. We are member supported. And for our premium members, we have the Backstage Pass. That's a great benefit of membership. It's an online Zoom meeting after this show, so about 3 o'clock. You should, if you're a premium paid member of Geeks on Tour, you get a link in an email that Chris sends out, or you can go right to our website, geeksontour.com, and click on member login, and you will find the link down there. It's easy to find, and join us after the show. That would be great. Okay?
Thank you, Michael Daniels.
Yes, indeed. What a guy.
And yeah, that's wonderful. We love you too. And by the end of the show, you'll know how to send us a tip like that using Bitcoin.
Cryptocurrency. That should be fun. Well, thanks again.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So, the Hodgepodge tips. Use the Apple Watch as a remote for your iPhone camera. We just did that, right? Send Bitcoin
Send
from one wallet.
Bitcoin from one wallet to another. Now, we're just going to show you how it's done. Later in the show, we're going to be explaining how it was all set up. So Jim, on his Android phone,
Pixel?
he has installed a Bitcoin wallet called Blue Wallet. And he has some Bitcoin in there. Where did you get that Bitcoin?
My wife gave it to me.
No.
From the ATM, right. There's an ATM at the local gas station on the corner for Bitcoin. And we went over and we decided we're going to try it out, figure out how it works. So we went in there and we actually fed it some bills, money, real currency, fiat money is what it's called. We put money in there and it transferred.
And then he just held his phone up with a QR code to this ATM machine. It was specifically a Bitcoin ATM machine, and he got Bitcoin in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, So he did that, and I want him to send me some. And I have the wallet on my phone. So let's see. We can do it either way, send or receive.
Okay.
So since I have my phone under here right now, I'll do it receive.
All right.
Okay?
So we want to put that under there.
Yep. So here's my phone.
All right.
And the Bitcoin wallet that we chose is called Blue Wallet. So I just open up my Blue Wallet.
There's a whole bunch of these wallets.
Yeah.
And there are hardware and software wallets.
And I need to unlock it. And now I tap on where it says the wallet. And now I have a choice to send or receive. And I will choose receive. And it puts up this QR code. So I can either send this QR code and this link to somebody. I can share it. And that could be done around the world. But since Jim is sitting right next to me.
All I need to do is on my phone, here you can just set it right next to it there. My phone says scan right there at the bottom. You see that? So if she taps on scan and then holds the camera up to scan that QR code that she has there, boom, right away it comes up with a screen where she can put in however, or I can put in however much money I want to, or Bitcoin I want to transfer to Chris.
Okay.
But be careful. Bitcoin, you probably don't want to send Bitcoins because they're thousands and thousands of dollars for one coin.
So I want to send $10. If I type in 10, what am I actually sending here?
$384,433.87.
Because one Bitcoin is $40,000 worth. So I have to tap these little arrows over here to say, no, I didn't mean Bitcoin. I meant dollars. And I'll delete all that and just put in 10.
Okay, so now it's $10, and it'll give you some fraction of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, but now one thing we have discovered just by using this, look at one of the reasons you want to do this is because the fees can be very, very low. As opposed to like doing a Western Union or something like that. But I'm sending $10 and it's telling me that my fee is $9.90.
Wow, I'll get 10 cents to you.
Yeah. So what you do is tap on the fee and you can, that $9.90 would make the transfer go really quick. But if you're not so concerned about the speed, I can do slow and my fee will only be 61 cents. So this is exactly the reason why we think you should play with it, you know, and next, and send now. And done. And we will show you the results of that later in the show.
If we get any results.
Well, yeah, because we chose the slow.
It's up to them, really, to make it happen. But it'll happen, and it won't cost much money, so that'll be cool. All right?
All right.
So we've sent a Bitcoin. Make a QR code. How about that?
Yeah, this, QR codes seem to be becoming ever increasingly important these days. And you might be surprised to know that you can make your own QR code. And this video we actually made a couple years ago, but it's still perfectly valid.
Okay. 454.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks On Tour, and I'm in this beautiful place. I noticed a little gazebo and think, wouldn't this be a great place to schedule an event? I actually think a friend of mine did get married here. I want you to imagine that you're going to have an event here and you want to print an invitation. And on the invitation, you need to give people directions and you want to make sure they get to the right place. You can do that with a QR code. I use an app called QR Droid. And look at all the different things you can do. In addition to scanning a QR code, you can create a QR code. So I press the Create button and look at all the different types you can create. The one I want is the geolocation. It asks for latitude and longitude. I have no idea, but since I'm on the green bullseye under GPS, and it fills out the latitude and longitude, then if I just tap the green arrow in the upper right-hand corner, it will create the QR code for me. I can even type a little label on it, which I think is very handy. So let's call this wedding location. And this doesn't have to be a wedding. It could be you're boondocking out in the middle of the quartzite desert and you are having an event and you want to give people an accurate map of where it is, even though you're not on any roads. Very, very handy. Now when you save it and or share it, you get a JPEG image of the QR code, which you can use in your printed invitation. So now let me show you what that would look like. We've printed the QR code on paper, and now anybody with a QR code scanner on a smartphone can read it. I'm still going to use the QR Droid, and this time I'm going to use the scan capability. And I just put the code in front of the scanner, and there we go. We have a map. You can zoom in on the map as close as you want to get. You can also press the back button on your Android phone and get out of the map to just see the lat and lon, and now you can open Google Maps or Waze or a few other apps and actually get directions.
Okay, well, I know that it was probably hard to hear at first there because we had some echo, so I'm going to just review the beginning of how that worked. To create a QR code, and I still use this app, I love it. It's called QR Droid, and it's right there. And this is on my Android, that's why it's called QR Droid. And you can scan a code with it, but you don't need that anymore. All the newer phone systems, you scan a code just using your camera. But if I go to my QR codes, then I can tap the plus to make my own. Tap the plus and look at all these different kinds. I can make a QR code that gives my in case of emergency contacts. I can give a QR code that's just plain text if I want a table of contents of a book or something. I can make a QR code that gives my business card. Usually you're just doing a web address. That's what we use it for. We use it for making a QR code that people scan and can watch one of our YouTube videos. What I demonstrated in the video was making a QR code of a geolocation. And you either have to type in the latitude and longitude or add the geolocation of where you are. And with that little button there, you have to allow it. And then when you create the code, yes, Michael, I save it to Google Photos. Let's say I just want to make come on, back up. I just want to make a URL. So web address. I want to make a QR code that goes to geeksontour.com. And next. Okay. See, this is why I do videos. Next, and HTTPS, and yes. And there's the code. Now, before I tap done, I'll tap share and share the attached image to Google Photos. That's how I do that. So all my QR codes I make with this app and I send it to Google Photos, and I have an album in Google Photos for all my QR codes.
Way cool. So you've made a QR code. Adding text to photos with Google Photos. Okay. And this is on Android only, huh?
Right. This is on Android only. But this is something I know a lot of people want to do, and you may not realize that it is available in Google Photos if you have an Android. So, Google Photos. And I'm going to find this photo of Jim with his virtual reality glasses on. There we go. So, there's Jim with his virtual reality, and I want to type the words Jim in virtual reality. So in Google Photos here, Android, edit, and then there's lots of stuff, and it's all on a horizontal menu now, and under more, it's called markup. Markup allows you to either draw or add text. So Jim's virtual reality, and done. And then I can move it where I want it, and done. And save a copy is how it works, so it doesn't destroy the original. And that is adding text to a photo using Google Photos on the Android.
All right. Next. Google Maps, walking directions with augmented reality. That's another video, huh?
This is another video, yeah.
Okay, we'll try not to get echo.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks On Tour, and this little video is about a new feature in Google Maps which gives us augmented reality when using walking directions. Take a look. Here's Google Maps. I've entered my destination and I've selected walking as my travel mode. The blue dot is me, and as I turn, the blue light indicates the way I'm facing. That helps me know which direction to go, but watch this. When I tap on Live View and lift the phone, it sees my real-time surroundings, and using augmented reality, it places these big blue arrows right on the screen to let me know which way to walk. This is just so cool. It tells me it's not safe to keep the phone up in front of my face the whole time. Put it down, and it goes back to regular navigating view. But anytime I need more help, I just lift up the phone, it sees my surroundings, figures it out, and puts the augmented reality right in front of my face, like a heads-up display.
That's pretty cool.
We've actually used that several times. It was very helpful in New York City.
Yeah, and it's gotten even better just recently. They have all sorts of new features where you can actually see where the pedestrian walkways are and where the islands are in the middle of the streets and which way to go. Right. So that's all new. That should be pretty cool.
And it just does totally amaze me when you lift up your phone and you're seeing what you're seeing, and then this augmented stuff.
Yeah.
See, seems like we have a couple of questions. Huey Poplock says he's using barcode generator from the Windows Store to create QR codes. Great. Yeah, there are lots. There are lots of apps to do it. Will Bitcoins replace PayPal? Well, listen to the rest of the show and see what you think. I have a Samsung Android phone, but I'm thinking about getting an Apple. But it seems that Android is better for Google Photos, right? And, well, my answer is have both. No, not really. Most people should stick with one or the other. And you would think that Android is better for Google Photos since Google makes Android. But there are some things that work better on the iPhone, even in Google Photos. On balance, yes, I do think the Android is better for Google Photos, but the difference is very small. So that would not be my deciding factor on Android versus iPhone.
Okay.
Need to explain which version of Android is required to get these features. It's really, well, we just always kind of assume the latest, but we are always using the latest. But that feature has been around. It's the version of Google Photos, if you're talking about the text on photo, and you should just always be as up to date as you can. So it would be the current version.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
what's next?
good question.
I think we're ready for you. No? Oh yeah. So that was our quick tips, our quick hodgepodge of tips. Now we're getting into the things that both Jim and I have just been kind of buried in.
Yeah, new toys. 3D printing is something that's really big buzz these days, and it is really going to change the way our world works. And so many of these things are. I got one of these 3D printers for my son. He expressed some interest in 3D printing, but he has no place to put it, so it's here in my studio. So I have a toy to play with. He gives me files and I'll print things for him. One of the things that he has been using recently is he got one of those Xboxes, and you can build supports for those to get it up and increase the airflow so they don't overheat. So I've been making those for him and some of his friends, and it's pretty cool. But 3D printing works by melting a layer of plastic filament in a little nozzle that moves, and I'll show you a time lapse in just a few minutes. Okay. Now my process for 3D printing is, first I decide on a model. I like the website. There's a lot of websites that have 3D models. Thingiverse is the one that I've come to really use as my go-to. They have these things called STL files, and those are the files that you need to put into a slicing program. So there's several steps. So you find out what you want, or you build it yourself. That's a lot for 3D modeling. But find a model, download the STL file, and then open the file in the slicer program. It's a neat program. It's free, and Creality has their own thing. It's Cura is the name of the slicer program. And then you import the file into the slicer program and export the file as a G code onto the micro SD card. That's these, where'd it go? It must be over there. And then you put that card into the printer, and then you select the file to print, and then you wait, and it prints, and you wait, and it prints some more, and then you watch it, and it prints some more. So that's how the whole thing works. So number 4 shows you there where we have, that's the SD card. I need an adapter because they are micro SD cards that go into the printer itself. So the printer has a little computer in it, and that's what makes the whole thing work. This goes in the SD card reader. The computer computes it and sends this stuff out to the printer.
So you need a program that is meant to create a certain object.
Right. Right.
So they're programmable creations.
Right. And
patterns.
This whole thing gets put together by someone with a lot more talent than I have to make their own 3D models. I was able to do some modeling in 3D, and this is sort of the kind of stuff you can do. But you can make practical things. This is a toothbrush holder. One of the cool things is that it can print a hinge in one piece. Where's my octopus? Oh, this thing
It is so cute.
This thing is so cute. This is my octopus. And that prints in one piece. And then it's flexible afterwards. How about my shark? I think it's up there too, isn't it?
Yeah.
A 3D shark. It needs to be in light somewhere. There you go. But it is articulated, and you can do things like that. Some things are useful. I have printed several useful things. I have a couple of brackets that I've made for. One is hanging our what is that, a mandolin out there on the wall, and a bracket for my hand mixer, a bracket for all of these little wires and cables that I have laying around to keep them organized. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with these 3D printers. Parts for automobiles, for people who like to fix up old antique cars. You can create tools and parts for these devices. Uh-oh, where's she going now?
Get the mandolin.
Oh, another thing is one of the tuning pegs on the mandolin was gone, missing. So I found one on there, and I printed another tuning peg for this mandolin. Is that cool or what? I don't play mandolin.
So now you can't print car parts with this printer, can you?
No. This just prints in plastic, and it layers this thin layer of plastic. But there are commercial 3D printers that can print in metal or harder plastics and things that you can't do, that you would normally have to forge or make molds and stuff like that. Very expensive processes. Now you can just have a model created in a CAD/CAM program, translate that to a 3D printer, and now you have some really cool stuff.
It really will change our world. There are even 3D printers, industrial size strength 3D printers that can make a house.
Mm-hmm. Really?
So a small house.
Well, maybe a big house.
Or in
Who knows?
pieces. But, no wasted. Anyway, it will change our world. Show them you're going to show them the time lapse?
Here's a little time lapse.
So this is showing very speeded up. I mean, how long did this actually take?
It took probably about 8 hours total for this, but it was fun. All right. Next, Chris. You're
right.
on.
Time for cryptocurrency. Well, wait, there were a couple of questions.
Okay.
Always wondered how 3D printing worked. Amazing, yes. And so now I understand why they call it 3D printing. I mean, you have a computer program just like a document, but it's a lot more...
A lot of code in there.
It's a lot more complex than a document, and you send it to the printer, and it prints layer after layer after... It's really... Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, the mandolin... Oh, Jolyn would be interested in the mandolin.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if it works yet. Nobody's played that mandolin in a couple of generations. So the International Space Station uses a printer to create parts they need.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's...
Exactly. And somebody asked, do you have to buy more filament?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, filament costs about $20 for a roll. They come in kilogram rolls, 2-pound rolls. I don't know how many meters are in there, and they come in different but colors and multicolors. They have a transparent one. They have some that look like wood. I'm still on the basic colors, so I have white and black and gray. All right.
Hugh says that Autodesk Fusion 360 is the standard for design and is free for personal use with lots of YouTube tutorials. Yeah.
And Judy says you don't If you don't want to buy your own printer, there are high schools with technology programs, and they'll print your projects and they'll create with the software.
Okay, and one person is saying that our volume isn't high enough, but
That could be them.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
If you want to, okay, cryptocurrency.
Why should you care? Do you care?
That was not the first slide?
That wasn't the first slide?
No.
This is?
Yeah.
There
So
you go.
cryptocurrency, what I'm going to try to do in what do I have here, 15 minutes, is what is cryptocurrency in Bitcoin, what is blockchain, that's the technology underneath it, and how do you get and spend Bitcoin. First, why should you care? Or why you should care. And this guy, his name is Peter Diamandis, and he's just a hero of mine. He is my favorite technology optimist. Several years ago, we read a book by him called Abundance, that the world is better than, the future is better than you think. And it just gave me such hope. And the latest book that we've read is The Future is Faster Than You Think, and he addresses all sorts of technologies, 3D printing being one, but cryptocurrency. So what is it? Bitcoin is a smart currency that will change the way we think of money, much the same way that email changed the way we thought of mail. Can you even remember life before email? You know, I do believe that money will be digital. No clue as to how long that will take, but I think it's time to learn about it now. One Bitcoin is currently worth $40,000. This time last year it was worth $10,000. You can buy, sell, and spend Bitcoin now. It's time to learn. So cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is the future of money. It is global. No country controls it. It is virtual. It is just online. It's zeros and ones. It's programming. Today's internet is communication plus data. Tomorrow's internet will be communication plus data plus money and other assets. Now, why don't we have that now? It's because of the double spend problem. So if I send you an email, I've actually just sent you a copy, and when it comes to information, that's fine. You can copy emails, you can copy photos, but if I want to send you $100, it's important that I am not sending you a copy. So if it was, I could send that same $100 to somebody else. It is the blockchain that has solved the double spend problem. So, what is blockchain? Is the technology. It's the database technology. So I just want you to imagine that if you have a bill and you hand it to somebody else, that's a transaction. What if, just imagine that bill had a ledger that started with when the bill was first printed, and every single transaction, everything that has ever happened to that bill is a transaction in a database. Each transaction was encrypted and referenced the prior transaction. So if that was true, and we all depend on the internet and this ledger of transactions, I wouldn't even need to give you the bill if I know if I can make a new transaction in this chain of transactions, it's done. You don't even need the bill. Now I'm strictly talking theoretical here. Blockchain has nothing to do with bills. So that's just to try to give you the idea. And now just a little bit of language. This bill is referred to as fiat currency, meaning it's printed and backed by a government. with no other backing. I mean, a government prints it and says, you can use this to make transactions with. It is, no country has maintained the gold backing standard. So that's fiat currency. Fiat currency is dollars. What I'm holding in my hand here is from Fiji. So it's the government of Fiji that defines that. And there's euros, and there's French francs, etc. Every one of those is a fiat currency. Digital currency is just virtual, like what you saw in the beginning of this show. We just used an app to transfer Bitcoin. Now, you're already used to transferring money digitally, right? I mean, who has actually used dollar bills anymore? You just tap your phone to a terminal, and it, using Google Pay or Apple Pay, it transfers. But how many steps back does it have to go to get money from your bank, etc., etc.? Digital currency is just one step. Digital currency here to digital currency there. Whew. I've bit off a lot here to explain, and I'm just learning. So, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. Yes, I've been studying it for a couple months, but we just bought our first Bitcoin a week ago. So, yeah. Blockchain. So the blockchain is a database. For you database nerds out there, a flat file database would be 2-dimensional. A relational database makes it 3-dimensional. This is just as I say, for you database nerds. I am one. Blockchain makes it 4-dimensional. It has time in there, and it's decentralized. So centralized is a bank. They have a database that collects data from all over, but there's still one central database manager. And if that database manager goes rogue, they have complete power to change the data and to be suspect of taking bribes, etc. That can be hacked. A decentralized means every transaction is duplicated many times, and it self-validates against all the others. Therefore, no one entity can make changes. It is immutable. It is the most secure. So, and it's not just money. Blockchain, the technology, can be used for all sorts of things. And I've made an analogy to Carfax. Most people know what Carfax is. It is a company that creates a centralized database, and they gather data from reports from service stations, maintenance records, police reports, all about a car's VIN number. And you pay Carfax for that report. What if a car's VIN number is just the beginning of a blockchain that automatically collects all this data on its own? Every time the car is in for service, they record the VIN number. That goes into its blockchain. Every time a car changes hands or is in an accident, the VIN number is recorded. That can be added to its blockchain. So a Carfax blockchain, think about it. Just scan the QR code that's on the car itself and get all the information. So that's just to try to give you the concept. We say this so many times, it will change our world. So, but let's bring it back down to a personal level now, and getting and spending Bitcoin. We only did this because Peter Diamandis told us to.
And I only did it because she told me to.
I love this quote of his, because a lot of people just laugh off Bitcoin. You know, it's ridiculous. That's absurd. What's ever going to happen? No way. His quote, "The day before something truly is a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea." We may be at that day before now, or it may be 10 years off. We don't know. But I say you should learn now rather than later. Go experiment. Create a Bitcoin wallet. Buy some Bitcoin. There are now multiple exchanges where you can buy Bitcoin with dollars, exchange dollars for Bitcoin. Two of the most popular platforms are Coinbase and Square Cash. This information comes from Peter Diamandis. So I chose Coinbase. No particular reason. That's an exchange, and you have to set up an account. This was a fairly onerous task. I had to not only put in, my email. I did not have to put in my social security number. That was good. But I had to give them a photo of my driver's license, plus a selfie of myself. You had to do quite a bit to validate getting an account on this exchange. Okay. And I just attached a bank account. So I had to give it all my bank account. I have a particular bank account that just keeps a minimum balance in it. So then you need a software wallet. Well, you need a wallet. You can get a wallet through the exchange, but from what I read, that's not a good idea. I want a separate wallet. I chose the Blue Wallet app. It's a free app. You just download it to your phone. I put that on my iPhone, and I then sent some money from the exchange. I sent some Bitcoin from the exchange to the wallet. All right. Then I told Jim to download the Blue Wallet app on his Android phone. And I sent some Bitcoin from my phone to his. And then earlier in the show today, you saw where he sent some from his phone to mine. And so joining an exchange versus installing a wallet. An exchange is a financial institution. And kind of the goal of Bitcoin is to get rid of the financial institutions. So once you have your Bitcoin and you have it in a wallet, you do not need any financial institution anymore. And I do want to show you, I know we're going to go a little bit long. just a little, because this is really quick. I want to show you how you install a wallet and get a key. What is this thing called a key? So this is...
Oh, it's an Apple.
Another iPhone. And I tap the App Store, and I look for Blue Wallet. And there's a lot of them. Do some studying to decide which one seems good for you. But, and I did already install it, so I can just open it. And it just pops up and says, add a wallet. No identification necessary. Nowhere in here do I put my name, my address, my email, nothing. I just add a wallet, and I want a Bitcoin wallet. There are other types of currency. So, and I'm just going to say that set up during show, because I'm going to delete this wallet when we're done. So Bitcoin wallet and create. That's it. You install the wallet app, you say, make me a wallet, and it's done. This is your key, these 12 words. That's called a key. And if I should ever lose this phone and get a new phone, if I want this wallet back, I better know those 12 words in the right order. So you write those down. That is called the key. And like I say, I'm going to delete this wallet. So I'm going to say, okay, I wrote this down. Now I am able to send or receive. Of course, I can't send any Bitcoin yet because this wallet is empty, but I could receive some. That is how quick and easy it is to set up a Bitcoin wallet.
Cool.
So I see a question. So Jim did not have to go through the long setup process that you did, Chris. No, he did not. I did not let him get an account on an exchange because that is I think we only need one of those. He went and got his Bitcoin from the ATM, from the Bitcoin ATM, or from me. Okay, there's a couple more slides and then we're done.
Okay.
So you got to, if you already do have a wallet, I mean, I am curious, anybody out there already using? Can also buy through PayPal. Well, I had read some articles that PayPal was allowing use of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I tried to go into PayPal and find that stuff, and it disappeared. It wasn't there.
There is no mention in PayPal of using Bitcoin, so I don't.
Or cryptocurrency of anything. Yeah, so check it again, Donna. I thought it was available when we went to look for it. I couldn't find. So things are changing all the time. It's yeah. So
if you have a wallet, if you've done what we've done and you have some Bitcoin in a wallet, how do you spend it?
Well, send it to us.
We did set up a page if anybody really wants to play. geeksontour.com/Bitcoin. And we put in the public address for, and you want to show them this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to go there really, but we also got a hardware wallet. And this is the most secure. So this is actually a hardware wallet with 24 words as its key.
Okay. So this thing holds money basically and it connects using a USB cable to your computer. And the way it authenticates you is rather unique. When you plug it in and you go to the website, it asks you to authenticate using the device, and it gives you a PIN, and it changes every time you go in there. So you have to poke the right numbers in the right order in order to get into it. You don't have to remember all 24 key numbers. This is just to get you into the wallet, and then you can carry this around with you. It'll create a QR code, or it'll show a QR code that somebody can send to, and you can just say, here, send me some money or give me some money. That'd be great. So
that is our Geeks on Tour Bitcoin wallet, and it has a public address. And that's what we've put on geeksontour.com/Bitcoin. Think of it like a tip jar if you want to send us a few bucks. But there's more. You can also spend at local businesses. There's go back one. There is a website called coinmap.org, which will show you all the businesses in your local area that accept Bitcoin. And then this 99bitcoins.com is a place to research all sorts of places. According to them, AT&T accepts Bitcoin. So you could pay your phone bill using Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Judy wants to know if the value of a Bitcoin changes, what happens to your personal wallet value? Well, it changes too. It fluctuates up and down. So if you had $10 in there, you might see $10.12 one day, or $9.57 or something like that another day, and you think you have $10.
Or if you had $100 a year ago and you haven't touched it, you have $400 now.
Pretty amazing.
And Bitcoins are sold in fractions, in tiny little fractions.
All right. To learn more.
Blockchain Revolution is a great book. I got really psyched on this stuff by watching the TED Talk by the author. So if you like TED Talks, just go to TED.com and search for Bitcoin or blockchain. You'll find lots of them. Pay attention to the dates, though. You want a more recent one.
Yeah, you want something that's really current.
But please, 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 don't go spending thousands of dollars on Bitcoin saying that the Geeks on Tour told you to. No.
We never told you anything.
We are in the stage that I call the wild, wild west, and there are lots of scams around. So it's time to learn, but risk small amounts, okay?
Okay. Well, how about that? Did you learn something?
Warren Wilson says that if you look under crypto for people and PayPal, you'll find stuff. Okay, cool. Indy's mom asks, if you send money to another, is there a commission? Yes. And that we showed in the very beginning. Most apps give you a choice. If you want your transaction to go fast, you pay a higher commission. If you want it slow, you pay a lesser commission. We paid 61 cents. Oh, we didn't show that.
Okay. Did you want to?
Sure. So we did a transaction at the beginning of the hour, and let me show you. And that was in the Blue Wallet app. And it still says pending. Yeah. So pending 0.0002 Bitcoin, and I don't have the chance to convert it there. So it's still pending. So since we only paid 61 cents in fee, it might take a couple hours before I actually get it.
All right.
Okay.
Now, did you learn something? Google Photos can add text on a photo, but only using a iPhone, Android, or the web?
Android.
Okay. True or false? You can make your own QR code with an app on your phone.
True.
Okay. True or false? If you have a Bitcoin wallet, you can send money to anyone else with a Bitcoin wallet.
True. And I don't know that we stress the point enough that I think they could be anywhere in the world. You know, they certainly don't have to be right beside you.
But they have to be able to accept it where they are.
Yeah. So people who moved here from Singapore and like to send money home, you don't have to go through Western Union and pay their high fees. If your family member has a wallet and you have a wallet, just use Bitcoin.
Yeah. True or false? Cryptocurrency is the future. You should convert all your dollars to Bitcoin now.
False.
Don't do that. No.
I do think cryptocurrency is the future, or blockchain technology on the web is the future. But no, don't convert all your dollars now. No. It's going to be a while.
So where do I get my 3D models? A, Thingiverse, B, 3dmodels.com, or C, Creality.com. I get mine from Thingiverse, but there are a bunch of 3D model places, so it doesn't have to be there.
Oh, and I didn't point this out on the slide. There was one slide that said, not your keys, not your coin. And the point that, remember when I made the wallet on the phone, it gave me a set of 12 words that were the keys, the key to the wallet. If the money that I got in the exchange, Coinbase.com, I don't get any keys. The exchange has control over my coin and just tells me what I have. You know, that's the way banks work. But people who are into cryptocurrency preach, not your keys, not your coin. So that's why I do advise to get the money out of the exchange and onto a wallet where you have the keys.
Okay.
That was fun.
That was fun. I think we got it. So we have a backstage pass coming up. just after this, I'll create the Zoom meeting, or I'll go into the Zoom, and I'll let y'all in as soon as we get our stuff together. That link is in an email that Chris sends out to all of our paid premium members. Or if you're a member, you can go to geeksontour.com and go to the member login. You'll find the link there. Sign up for our free newsletters, geeksontour.com. Members get the newest edition of the book, Learn Google Photos. Become a premium member and subscribe to this channel. Well, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our YouTube shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube shows.
And the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters.
geeksontour.com, the menu item is newsletters. We
Okay.
do have a couple of more questions, as
All
long as
right.
I see them before we go.
All right. What do you got?
Galanese. So, like credit cards, every transaction will not involve a fee, replacing cash as the only exchange medium that had no fees. Basically, yes, some people say that cryptocurrency replaces cash. Some others say it replaces gold, because there is an intrinsic value. You know, there is a limited, by the programming, there is a limit of 21 million Bitcoin. There can never be any more. So you have a limited amount of something, it can have a value. Does that purchase mean you have an interest in a foreign bank? No, no, no. This gets rid of the banks, gets rid of the middlemen. The cryptocurrency is a worldwide online thing. So there's it can go directly from me to you with no middleman, no bank involved.
Okay. Or from them to us, even better.
Oh, right, yeah, right. You can send us. Okay,
All right.
good.
All right. That's the Backstage Pass.
Oh, Sheila says, I learned more than I paid for this month.
Well, that's it for us this time. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour. See you next time. Keep pushing those buttons. And remember, mask up, wash your hands, pay attention. Be safe. We love you.
That wasn't too bad. I got it under an hour.